Here's that. Also, we have a tradition in the upper school band, the last day of class. And usually the 8th graders don't know, but this time you get to know. I write a personal message to each student in the upper school band. And I present it to them on the last day of class. After they tell me what they loved about band and what they love about school. But Jack may not be with us that day, so I brought his personal message to give him today. And thank you for everything. Jack has been great. Jack has a few words he'd like to say about how music has impacted his life.
Good afternoon. I know this is the beginning of a month full of emotional goodbyes, what with graduation just in a month. So instead of saying goodbye, I'd like to tell you a story. It was the fall of 2011. I was a short, wide-eyed 7th grader about to enter BASIS Chandler, a school that was itself just starting out. My parents encouraged me to start a musical instrument, as this was the first school I'd been offered band or strings. In fact, I was quite enthusiastic about learning to play, but had absolutely no idea what to choose. In the end, I chose the saxophone, and I'd love to tell you it was because of its smooth, rich tone or its prominence in jazz, but the truth is, I didn't know any of that at the time. I just chose it because it looked cool. When I first picked it up, it was just like riding a bike. Scratch that. It was like learning to ride a bike. I squeaked, I cracked notes. I sounded terrible, but I enjoyed it. I didn't want to give up, and so I didn't. I brought it to school. I met a couple other dozen brand new instrumentalists, and together we pushed ourselves. Slowly, we got better, so we could play 2 full songs at our concert just 4 months later, whatever it was. In the years since then, I've improved, practiced, and most of all, gained confidence. BASIS continued to provide me with new, interesting challenges and ways to apply my talent. I joined every group that could use a saxophone, from jazz band, to tri-am, to pet band, to symphony, to the musical orchestra, and finally becoming Mrs. Cook's TA this year. In 7th grade, I was scared to play a couple short songs with 17 other kids, just because we had an audience. In 12th grade, I performed the Star Spangled Banner at games, basketball and volleyball, 15 times solo. Music gave me that confidence. Being in this band gave me that confidence. Concerts and performances quickly stopped being daunting, anxiety-inducing experiences and became something I looked forward to, a way of showcasing my progress to musicians and non-musicians alike, and a way for me to connect to people in the way I never had before. Perhaps more importantly, music became my emotional release. Back when I started, I had no idea that I needed one, but in hindsight, I'm really not quite sure what I did without it. I have no shame in admitting I have my share of emotional problems and probably more bad days than I deserve, but no matter how bad a day I'm having, playing my saxophone at the end of it just makes it at the very least a little bit better. And believe me when I tell you, there have been so many days where that little bit made all the difference. Of course, I would definitely be remiss if I didn't acknowledge the fantastic musicians sitting behind me. These students and every member of our band who has come and gone over the years. Despite the wide range of instruments, from saxophones to flutes, from 8th graders to seniors, the BASIS Chandler Band has always been a family, united by music, each of us working for the betterment of not only ourselves, but also each and everyone else in the group. I'm really, truly going to miss them, but none more so than Mrs. Cook, who is not only a phenomenal band director, but also an amazing person and a great friend. I wish her all the best in the coming years, as she continues to tirelessly improve all the BASIS bands into the best musicians they can be. I wouldn't be where I am with my instrument if not for her. When I look back to the year before I started playing the saxophone, to the young, naive, socially awkward middle schooler I used to be, only then do I realize the true extent of the impact music has had on me. While anecdotes about being in band may have helped me get into good colleges, playing the saxophone hasn't really made me a better aspiring engineer, just gotta be honest. But over the last 6 years, it did something so much better. It made me a better person, which is more valuable than any degree from any university. So I'd like to leave you with this. Music is often called the universal language. Until recently, I never really thought about exactly what that means. But now I think I figured it out. Music is the universal language because it doesn't take years of training to connect to it. Unlike other languages, anyone can understand and appreciate music in some way, no matter who they are or where they're from. But perhaps the most impactful endeavor in anyone's life, definitely my own, is learning how to speak it. Thank you.
For our final number, Jack is going to join us, and you'll hear him playing his final saxophone solo at BASIS Chandler. We're doing a piece about a music teacher, Mr. Holland's opus. Some of you might have been at our ATF event on Tuesday and watched this movie with us. This is great music, and it's about a teacher who spent their life with fantastic students like this. And that's why teachers do it, by the way, is because of these kids, fantastic kids.